Hello and welcome to all the men and women of the West. I'm Joe. As you guys can tell, my throat's still recovering a little. This is a last minute video of sorts. I found this news and thought I had to do a video on it. So here we go. IDW announces rollicking comic prequel for Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Now, if you recall, we did a trailer reaction to the trailer of this movie, and I was just looking up for D&D or Dragonlance news, and I found this instead, so I figured it was worth presenting about. IDW Publishing is a comic book company that's not been doing too well in recent years, to put it lightly. And they've been on the verge of collapse for a few years now. But they have a lot of deals with places like Disney and whatnot, from what I understand it. Although I'm not familiar with everything to do with this company, as I long since got out of comic book news and whatnot. They've announced a brand new prequel comic to the upcoming Dungeons and Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves movie. Yet you put a C rather than H, Mr. Vague. Well, that does not give me hope for this article. Anyways, next year, E1 will bring the huge Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves, at least he spelled it right here, to cinemas across the UK. The movie will steep cinema goers in the lore that has inspired millions of D&D gamers across the world for decades. I probably end up going yay really loudly right here. And yeah. But as my throat's still recovering, I'm just going to say yay, hoorah, very quietly. But before the film hits the big screen, IDW Publishing will hit comic book stores with a very special prequel story. In Février 2023, the publisher will drop Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves, The Feast of the Moon, a prequel story written by Jeremy Lambeau, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Ellen Boner. I don't know. How's that pronounced? With art by Eduardo Feligato, Last Flight Out, and Guillermo Sana, Luke Cage. I'm a bit of a Luke Cage fan, so that sounds pretty neat. Feast of the Moon will introduce Edgin, Holga, and more of the movie's ignoble anti-heroes, and tells the thrilling, hilarious, and unexpected story of events leading up to the epic calamity that will ultimately ensnare them. Okay. Yeah. Mage, probably Barbarian, and Bard, from what I can tell. Not sure of his class. Probably Scoundrel. It's probably Scoundrel. Wish they had included a knight. Sorry, I'm a sucker for chivalry. A knight and maybe... I don't know. At least they got a mage. They have a barbarian, that's fine. And tyrannical bandit king who has exploited the town's resources for years under threats of violence and ruin. With their backs against a wall, Edgin and his associates vow to help the townsfolk repel the bandit king's forces once and for all. But as the danger escalates and the thieves' loyalties are tested, allegiances begin to shift, and it soon becomes clear that all is not as it seems. And we have their comments, which are, can't begin to describe how fun it was to open up my notebook filled with scribbles for old D&D campaigns and start a new chapter for a different kind of story. What I love about these characters is that they aren't the brave, gallant, all-powerful warriors that will forever win the day. They're regular people just like you and me. Yeah, the marketing he's trying to do there is to appeal to people who like stuff like Dragonlance, where the characters are basically blue-collar guys. I've always been a huge fantasy fan. I don't know about that. like I said, I've just learned to a lot of these um, a lot of people working in the industry. I don't know what they're a fan of or not, and the only reason I say I don't know is because a lot of them are paid to basically say certain things. But and I know that's very cynical. It's just I've just learned to be suspicious of public announcements. Outside the horror industry, of course. If someone says, well, I'm a big fan of the original Halloween, typically it means, yeah, they are. Or, I'm a big fan of this horror movie. Typically, yeah, they are. With horror, it's easy to narrow down someone's interests. With fantasy, not so much. But it is possible. Um, Not to cast any aversions against these people. Creating a comic set in the world of this exciting new film means we get to enjoy the fun of bringing together all the elements that make D&D so versatile and well suited to different mediums. Not only did we get to build and expand. Okay. In all, it does tell us a little about the plot of this comic. Meh. I can't figure out which world it is. And the world in fantasy is often as important as the actual story. Is it Greyhawk? Is it um is it the Forgotten Realms? What is it? Let's see if there's any comments. No? Okay. Is it I don't know. It must be its own new world. So I'm a little confused here. Now, as you guys can see, I'm 7 days late. I'm a week late with this video, so I only just found out about this article. But tell me what you think of this uh, article, of this video, and if you enjoyed it. If you're looking forward to the movie, that's great. If you're looking forward to this comic strip, that's great. Tell me in the comments section. And don't forget to smash that like and that subscribe button as though you were, well, let me try to come up with a good one. I'll just say Reorc's trying to smash the world into shape.